history of French colonization in Algeria is one marked by brutality and profound suffering. It began in 1830 when France invaded Algeria under the pretext of protecting European interests. This conquest was not a simple military maneuver, but a calculated campaign of subjugation, marked by numerous acts of violence and oppression. As we delve into this dark chapter of history, it's crucial to understand the scale and impact of this colonization on the Algerian people. The French invasion quickly turned into a full-scale occupation, with an aggressive policy aimed at quelling resistance. Initial fighting saw the destruction of entire villages and the massacre of civilians as a tactic to instill fear. The French military employed scorched-earth strategies, burning crops and homes, leading to widespread famine and suffering among the Algerian population. This approach was not just a collateral outcome of war, but a deliberate strategy to break the will of the local resistance. Under French rule, the Algerian way of life was systematically dismantled. Traditional land ownership was abolished, and fertile lands were sequestered and redistributed to French settlers, also known as colons. This disfranchisement left many native Algerians destitute and without means. Urban centers were transformed to suit French settlers, while indigenous people were marginalized, often pushed to the peripheries of cities or kept in rural poverty. Beyond economic domination, cultural suppression was rampant. French colonialists sought to erase indigenous identity by imposing the French language and education system while sidelining Arab and Berber culture. This deliberate cultural assault was an attempt to assimilate Algerians into French civilization, or, as they perceived it, to civilize them. However, this approach only served to deepen the rift between the colonizers and the colonized, cementing a legacy of resentment and resistance. The brutality of French colonization was not confined to the physical and cultural domains. It also extended to political oppression. The indigenous population was denied political representation and basic civil rights. Even when Algerians fought for France in both world wars, their contributions were met with continued discrimination and violence, most notably during the Sétif massacre of 1945, where peaceful demonstrations demanding independence were met with brutal repression, resulting in thousands of deaths. Despite these oppressive conditions, the spirit of resistance persisted. The struggle for independence, which intensified in the mid-20th century, was fueled by the decades of suffering endured under French rule. This culminated in the Algerian War of Independence that began in 1954, a bitter and bloody conflict that finally ended with Algeria achieving sovereignty in 1962. Examining the brutality of French colonization in Algeria, it becomes evident that this era was characterized by an enduring legacy of hardship and resilience. The systematic oppression left deep scars, but also sowed the seeds of a national identity forged in the fires of resistance. It serves as a profound reminder of the cost of colonial domination and the indomitable spirit of those who fought for their freedom. As we reflect on this history, we gain not only an understanding of the past's injustices, but also a renewed appreciation for the enduring pursuit of justice and human dignity. These lessons remain ever relevant in our ongoing quest for a more equitable world.